Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your water signs for your spring equinox energy update for the water signs, specifically with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you. So with that said, these are your spring equinox energy updates for your sun sign only. These are specifically for your sun sign. If you have a sun sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, this is for you. With that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you all on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I have two decks here. I've got my vintage Rider-Waite and I have my normal Rider-Waite. And when I was looking at them, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to use these as kind of like a yin-yang energy? So you get two cards for this reading. What we're looking at is what you need to release for spring. That's your first card out. And your second card out is going to be what you need to plant, or what you're favored to plant. So for you, Cancer, what is it that spring 2020 is requiring you to release to have the best year yet? Okay, so you've got the Page of Pentacles. Now, a very interesting card as a card for something to release. Because this is asking you to let go of playing small, right? Your Page of Pentacles is things that you do in a small way. It can be hobbies, it can be a side business, it can be anything like that. But very often this is about, it's about something that we do that is small. You're being asked to release that idea. Whatever it is that you're doing in a small way, you need to think about letting go of this idea that it needs to be small, that it needs to be petite. This is one of those times where less is not more. More is going to be more. This is the message for you. Let go of playing small. Start to think of the big game. Start to think of the big rewards, the big focus. And what that requires you to do now is to let go of, and I'm not saying don't be cautious. I'm not saying go and bet the house, go and bet the house on the craps table, or go and put the car on the roulette table. It's not about that. What I'm saying is this idea of things being small, of things being compact, or only doing them in a small way. That is what you are being asked to release. And one of the deeper meanings of the Page of Pentacles is that it represents the body of the soul. So some aspect of your deepest self is asking you to release this idea of small beans, small anything, right? This is time for you to start thinking big. So what are you favored to plant here in spring? Let's have a look, see what is it that you are favored to plant in spring 2020. And this time the Judgment card, right? So this is about change. It's about you really moving forward. This is about you planting seeds of creating your own tradition, of creating your own avenue for change. This is asking you in a really big way, Cancer, to bring the best parts of your past forward and move beyond them so that you can transcend them, right? When we have a firm, strong base to move from, when we have a really good foundation, we can build anything. When you think about a tree is able to grow to immense, incredible heights, because as high up as that tree goes, the roots go further down into the ground. It's the same when you build a skyscraper. You need a really strong foundation to build on. This is that moment. What you're being asked to plant are the seeds of your own future with the understanding of the past. This is a really powerful card for you to have as what you should be planting now. And what are those things that, because whenever I see this, I kind of see it as a blast from the past. But in this position and, in this way, what it's asking you to do is really think about what can you bring with you from the past that is actually going to serve to make everything that you do now even better than it already is. For you, my dear Scorpios, my dear stingers, let's have a look, see what is it that spring requires you to release. And for this time, you get the Eight of Swords. So where is it that you're constricted? Where is it that you're confined? Where is it that you feel imprisoned? Where is it that you feel like you are beholden to someone or something else? Where is it that you ultimately crave and need freedom? This is about letting go of anyone or anything that holds you back or holds you down. This could be memories, it could be feelings, it could be thoughts, repetitive thought processes or patterns. Whenever you see the Eight of Swords, it is a swords card. So this is all about the trap that our mind can be. Right, so this is asking you to really delve deep into this, to ask yourself, what thought patterns and processes and loops or old bits of script are left rattling around in my brain that are actually now serving just to hold me back. This is a time for you to release those things so that you can liberate yourself. For your what you're favored to plant over the course of the spring months. So remember, this is going to be a process, right? You're letting go of this one thing and you're phasing in these new things or planting the seeds for these new things so that you can harvest them at some point throughout this year. And you get the Hierophant card, right? This is alignment with establishments, with persons or people of authority, with people in true positions of power that can really make a difference in your life. This is about taking things to the next level, Scorpio. This is about you planting seeds. So whether this is making applications, whether it is seeking funding or institutions that can help you with your project, whether this is becoming an authority yourself or sowing the seeds of becoming an authority yourself. This is asking you to plant seeds of really alignment, plant seeds of alignment with big institutions, people in authority. Start fostering a culture of authority and also of tradition and establishment. This is about taking things from the putty form, forming them into something and putting them in the oven so that they can become, you know, firm, right? This is what it feels like for me. So whatever you're doing or whatever seeds you're sowing over the course of the spring, this is about making those things for the final draft, right? Whatever you're doing here, you're putting the final finishing touches on, because as it goes into the oven, it's going to turn into that real tangible concrete thing. For Pisces, let's have a look, see. What does spring require you to release? Okay, spring requires you to release the Page of Wands, right? Interesting that you got this when Cancer got the Page of Pentacles. So you're being asked to let go of some creative project here. Maybe something that you tried to get off the ground, maybe something that wasn't really as stable as you would like it to have been. Or maybe for some of you, this is about a trip or a journey. This could represent like a literal moment or place of travel that you've wanted to go to. And for a lot of you, what's coming to me off the back of that is, this is about a trip that you've had a lot of problems planning. This is like every time you go to do something, or maybe every time you go to book the tickets, you know, there isn't any, or maybe every time you go onto the website is down. Maybe every time you want to do it or you think about it, you haven't got the funds for it. There's some sort of journey or trip or travel that's coming up for you that you're not supposed to take. And the reason it hasn't happened for you up until now is because this is something that you need to release. On the other aspect of this, like I said, this is about some sort of creative project that it just hasn't got off the ground. And if it hasn't got off the ground now, cut your losses and run. This is the time for you to release that. It's the time for you to really just let go of it, because your energy will be better served elsewhere. And then finally, what are you favored to plant over the springtime, my dear Pisces? Let's have a look, see. All right, so you've got the Knight of Swords. This is interesting, really interesting to me, because your knights can be modes of transport or travel as well. And the fact that you've got the Knight of Swords, sometimes this is fast. At times it can even be aggressive communication. But this is what you need to plant for spring. This is about you being more go-getting. It's about you really charging out there. The things that you say that you want, the things that you say that you need, you've got to be resolute about going after them. Spring is basically saying that the time ahead for you is about planting seeds of standing your ground. Whatever that means to you, this is about being ready and able to rush in on the horse with the with the sword in hand and say, right, you know what? I don't like this, or I do like this, and this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm creating. This is where I'm going. This is about you standing up to be counted. And ultimately, whenever you see the Knight of Swords, it means that you might come up against it in some way, shape or form. It means that you might have to go there. Maybe you'll have to say or do something that you maybe wouldn't necessarily do. The spring is asking you, it's basically what is favored for you is being bold, being daring, and truly speaking your mind as opposed to biting your tongue. So whatever that means to you, I hope it serves you in some way, shape or form. Remember, these aren't events, right? Because this is a process. It's the energy that you're phasing out and the energies or the things that you're looking to plant and bring in more of. And these are things that are going to help you for a much more fruitful and prosperous year. So let me know, do you love it? Do you loathe it? Is it in line with where you're at, with what you feel like the spring is going to be about for you? Remember, as we close down this part of the year and we head towards that spring equinox on the 21st, right? That's the first season of the year kind of done. So we're now moving into that unstoppable life energy of spring. So it's a perfect time to release something, and it's a perfect time to plant seeds. That's what we do, right? So let me know, do you love it? Do you loathe it? I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic springtime. Take care, and I'll see you soon.